Was born in Sweden. My mother is from Greece, my father from Hungary, and I studied dentistry in Sweden. And then I moved to Spain, and I have lived in Spain for 20 years now. We all go through suffering, so it's not just happening to you. So it helps you to accept that, okay, this has happened to me, and I have to learn something from this. Why is this happening to dentists? I think that being a dentist is one of the most difficult professions. You have one who have had a happy childhood with dad and mom, and maybe even they are doctors or dentists, they have. If you have fear of rejection, for example, like I had, everybody had to like me. It's like my husband said so many times, but Christina, why don't you go and sell ice cream? I think there's a reason why you meet people, why everything, like I said, I think there is a reason why everything happens to you. And another thing that women have, we feel a lot of guilt for not being home with our children. So you have all those feelings as well. And I have a proposal as well. Like I have a podcast too, so I would like you to be my guest. It was really fun to be for people like this. I really, it was like having a party.
All right. Welcome to Dentman, where we explore the minds transforming modern dentistry and other various fields. But today we've got Dr. Christina Radick, a former clinic owner turned professional speaker and coach, guiding dentists through work-life balance and career fulfillment. Dr. Christina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's a big honor.
We were just joking around about the fact that audio video issues and all that and technical issues, which is always fun to have. And it felt like we were on your podcast. So welcome to Dr. Christina's podcast.
Welcome to my podcast, DentMed.
Love it. It's great. You have now commandeered the podcast. If you don't mind, before I jump into a bunch of questions, give us like a 30-second, minute long. Tell the audience about who you are, what you do, and your why. That's important.
What's that? Wow. Maybe we should introduce ourselves, no?
We should.
Oh, 30 seconds. That's a tough one. But
hey, it's your podcast. You can take as long as you like.
I will try just to be short. I was born in Sweden. My mother is from Greece, my father from Hungary, and I studied dentistry in Sweden. And then I moved to Spain, and I have lived in Spain for 20 years now. And I started at the same dental clinic. A big important thing. There are people that takes the easy way in life, and there are people that takes always the most difficult way. And I took I was drawn to difficulties, struggles. So I got married very young. I was 19. I got children when I was 20, 21. So that was before I even started dental school. And then in Spain, I got a third child. So I've had my family. Meanwhile, all this has happened to me in dentistry. So I started at the same dental clinic 18 years ago. And I became a dental practice owner. And I went through several periods of burnout. And the second burnout hit me so hard. So I was towards a depression, and that changed completely. And from having the big why of taking care of patients, as we dentists want to do, my big why became to take care of dentists, to share my mistakes, to share my errors, so they can avoid to do the same mistakes that I did. So that's my big why, and it's such a big why. It's much bigger than even dentistry was for me. So that's what I want to share today with you as much as possible.
That kind of knocks out both of my first questions, which was about, why you went into. So it's that second burnout that was the triggering point. Now, my question is, can you walk us through your, 3+5 5 framework for finding that life balance as a professional?
Yeah. Yeah, so that is what I'm speaking about on when I have my speeches, because it's 3 secrets that mental resilient people knows about. It's nothing that I have invented. It's Lucy Hones, I think her name is. It was from a TED Talk that I extracted that part. What 3 secrets that people with mental resilience knows is that, first of all, the first one is that we all go through suffering, so it's not just happening to you. So it helps you to accept that, okay, this has happened to me, and I have to learn something from this. The second secret is that before you take a decision, you should ask yourself, will this harm me or will this benefit me? Is this something that I want? Does this give me energy or does it drain me? Is this something I need to eliminate or delegate? Those are so important questions. If we would learn those things, we would all be much happier. But if nobody teaches these things, we will try to have a lot of stuff on our shoulders. Our bag will be so heavy we will not be able to walk happily. So, and the third secret that mental resilient people, so this is the number 3 in the formula, is that mental resilient people know that they have to focus and put their energy on the 5 pillars of happiness: self-care, personal development, relationships, free time and hobby, and purpose and career. And for most of the dentists, we are in the purpose and the career. And then we try to balance the other things. But we want to go to all these courses. We are so focused on teeth, patients, become good dentists. So we are not so good at balancing the other 4 pillars. So that's the
Dr.
formula.
Christina, can I ask a favor? I know it's very early on with this met. Um, do you
You can
mind,
ask whatever you want.
yeah, do you mind connecting with my mother? Because every time I talk to her, she's like, you guys are the reason why I didn't get anywhere in life. I just, spent my young years on you guys, and now, I'm just a mother with 3 kids. But I mean, look at you. You had your first kids when you were 21, you said?
Yeah.
And now you're a dentist and you're a key opinion leader. That's what I don't know it says on your LinkedIn, but sounds
Yeah.
very fancy. And you're still a mother of 3, just like my mom. So,
Yeah.
what was your secret?
What was the question?
No, it was a favor. If you can talk to my mom and tell her that we are not the reasons why she's not passing life, and even as a mother of 3, you can still do things, right?
Yeah, but I have to say this, and this is to how can I say, in favor to your moms. Like, having too many things is not the best way. When I sold my practice, the first thing I said was sorry to my children, because I realized that so many moments that I had just been speaking about patients, I was sitting at the table and I could speak with my husband about something that happened at work. I was not present. I was always overthinking and worrying about something about the clinic. So, sometimes what you think is success on social media, you can have all these titles, you can have a clinic. Success is being present wherever you are, being present with your children, being present with your husband, being present when you're at work. So I don't feel that I was so successful sometimes being a mother. If I could, I would do things differently if I could turn back time. So appreciate your mother.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have different aspects of success in life, and I totally get it. Like, as with different roles that you have, whether you're a mother, father, and also you work somewhere and you are a leader at it, basically leading a team. You know, uh, just because you are successful at one of these roles doesn't mean that you're successful at the other one.
Excellent.
But what basically makes you think that, like, as a mother, you weren't so successful? Because I think you were an amazing mother. Like,
Oh, thank you.
oh, for
And
real.
yeah, yeah. And my children says, "Don't say that, mom. We know that you needed to work hard and long hours, but it's like I wanted to do everything at the same time, and I
Mer-
should have taken it slower, you know? I wanted everything and the clinic and practice owner and be there for the patients and be there. And you cannot give, I mean, you only have 24 hours a day. So I would say, and my children are now they are 27, 26, and 17. And none of them have children, so none of them yet. So they're like, we are going to wait. Probably they saw me stressing around, and they're like, we are not going to do have the same life. So younger generation are much smarter. um,
And I
yeah,
think there's nothing wrong. I'm really not a therapist. Sorry, I'm just giving out my basically my thoughts. I think there's nothing wrong with being multi-dimensional. I myself, like when I'm seeing my mom, I rather have my mom be an academic and someone that's has had good success in his life, in his career, in her career. Sorry, in her career, and you know, I know she's been extremely successful with her kids, as we can say right now. Uh, but basically, I think you've done a great job, I would say. Like as
mm.
someone that has seen at least the journey of my own mother, just as a compliment. I don't know if you'd say so.
Thank you. I think we're all on a journey. I don't know if it's something that comes with age or with struggling in life, but I become more and more spiritual. You know, I everything that has happened is just like Steve Jobs said. When you look back, you can connect the dots. Oh, now if it wouldn't be that I wanted to have children and getting married that early, I wouldn't have Valentina and Pablo. So I'm not regretting anything. Everything was supposed to happen. All my struggles, all my mistakes, everything also sums up to I'm sitting here today and can share what I feel I did wrong and how we can improve things. But it's not only what I think that I did wrong. I think there are so many things that should be changed in dental school. But we can enter that a little bit later. But I think a lot of things starts there. And by adjusting things in dental school, we can prevent burnout and suffering.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Dr. Reddick. But I think, I always tell the guys, as a practicing dentist, in the States, I see patients 8 to 10 hours a day. I graduated dental school 2 years ago, so my journey of like I think I'm getting to a point where I am feeling like, man, I feel like I'm hitting the wall some days because I'm just tired. That excitement to want to go in and see patients every day is not there as much as I expected. And anytime I talk to my friends, they're like, you get into that 2 year burnout to where like you're not as excited to get up and just go to the practice. And that really is something that I'm fascinated by this, because as a dentist, in general, dentistry, we're high achievers, right? We want to be successful. We go to dental school, so many years of schooling and all of that. The one thing I really want to know, it's like, from the outside, people think we are like at peace, we have money, we're successful, but internally we may not be at peace with ourselves. Why do you think that's the case? Because as the studies have shown the dentists that commit suicide, they get depressed, they take different type of medication, they go to the alcohol and all of that. So why do you think that's such a big issue in our field as far as, trying to manage ourselves emotionally to be able to kind of have that work-life balance and not get to this burnout and not be depressed? What do you think is the key? Like, what was that turning point for you? Like, what did you change in your career that kind of like said, okay, I have to stop or I have to change certain things? Like,
Hmm.
what were the steps that you took to ensure that mentally you're more resilient in a sense,
Yeah.
and work towards that?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your feelings. It's very, strong of you to share. There are several questions there, so I would start with different. With the first question, like, what why is this happening to dentists? I think that being a dentist is one of the most difficult professions. In many ways, it's like you have to solve problems all the time. You have all the responsibility. You're at the same place and you're working in a small area. The smaller area you work in, the more cortisol levels you will have. So you will automatically, just by working in this small area, you will have higher stress compared to other people. And then monotony. Even if you're doing different things, you're still in the mouth. You know, it's not that you can say, like my husband, he works in real estate. He can go out, he can have a dinner with the client, he can take a cup of coffee. But we are there, and many times we are late, and maybe we even don't have time for lunch, or we don't take that break because we don't have time for that break, or we have to write the journal. So it's this constant having to achieve all the time. Not even our laptops can do that. Having your laptop on all the time will make it hot. And we are all the time doing things. And then as a practice owner, maybe you go home and you continue doing, like I many times did, like, before and after photos. When I tried to delegate it to the marketing team, they suck. And I was like, okay, I have to do that as well. You know? So I even tried to delegate some things, but I don't know if dentists are more perfectionist. You know, we can see every single detail that other people can't see. So it's not so easy to delegate everything. So I don't think it's very few dentists who can work for many years full time, Monday to Friday, 8 hours, and be happy and have mental health and physical health. I don't think the happiest dentists that I know of are the ones who know what they want. Like we said with the mental resilience, will this harm me or will this benefit me? They know how many days they want. So if I would say, Dr. Millard, how many days would be your dream scenario to work? Would it be how many days and how many hours would it be?
0.
Don't think about the money. Don't think about the money. Don't think about the time. How many?
For me, like, I think ideally, I always talk to the guy. I think ideally, if I can get to like 3-4 days, that would be for me is good days. If I can work like 3 to 4 days and work like 8 hours per day, where I can have a little more balance in my life, I think that's really, because right now, to be honest with you, I come home. It takes me an hour to get to my office. I work 8 hours. It takes me an hour to come back home. By the time I'm home, it's like I'm up at 5:36 in the morning. I'm home 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And then some days I still do Masood, like we do podcasts, and then I'm just like knocked out. Like I can't even. And then I sleep and I wake up and I'm like, man, I feel still tired. Like then
Yeah.
I sleep for 13 hours and I'm like, I'm still tired.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. Like I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like I try to stay active, but as you know, it's like you try to work out here or there as much as you can. But at the same time, you're like, I gotta sleep to be able to function the next day. So it's really hard. I mean, finding that balance has become a difficult task for myself to be able to say, I'm gonna do dentistry. I'm gonna be, a CEO of a company. I'm gonna be doing all these other things. It's a lot of tasks that is on the shoulder. And also having to deal with the staffing, because again, like that's one of the things that when you come out of dental school, nobody tells you, hey, you're going to go into the real world. You're going to have to deal with 10 different people, 10 different personalities. And then that on its own becomes such a huge task. And I think some days I'm like, man, I'd rather just do the dentistry and not deal with anybody else. Like, honestly, I'm like, I don't want no assistant. Everybody go home. Let me just do my work. Because dealing with the people is difficult. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But and like you said, there are certain things that dental school don't talk about. What are some of the things that you think that dental school should improve upon when it comes to that kind of stuff, like the mental resilience, how to manage your stress? What are the things that you think needs to shift in the industry in order for
Mm,
the younger dentists to have them mental resilient when they come out of dental school, or they're more educated in that area? So that, because it feels like the repetition of that stress is always the same. So what are some of the steps you think the dental schools need to take early on to kind of put the dentist in a better position when they leave the school?
mm. Is it okay if I just go back and just finish the
Oh,
answer of
absolutely. Sure.
the earlier question? Sorry. So what I've seen of the successful, because now I have had 2 years, I've been speaking with a lot of dentists. I have gone to therapy. I have gone to coaching before I became a coach myself. I'm really, I love to like see patterns in things. So I can see that the successful, happy dentists, and I'm not saying that they're happy all the time. They go through emotions as well, and sometimes they don't like their work. But the happiest dentists are the ones who know, like, okay, I'm going to work 3 days. Like one of my best friends, she works 3 days. She has a lot of work, but she said, I'm just working these 3 days. There are 3 full days, but not more. And if they call me when I'm off, not always, depends, of course. If it's after an implant operation, you have to answer the phone. But she's very strict with the rules. She doesn't answer everybody. She doesn't give an appointment on her day off. She delegates. So I think the better you know what you want, the stricter you put your rules and know, what do I want to deal with? What do I want to delegate? Hire slow, fire fast. The faster you realize what you want and take decisions from that, the better you will be and the better you will feel. I don't think that you can be a good leader and a good dentist by working 8 hours every day. The best ideas that you get is when you're happy, when you're on vacation, when you have a day off, when you take a walk, when you take a shower. It doesn't come when you're stressed. So the more we work and push ourselves, the worse we get. That's the bitter truth. So if you want to become a better leader, have more freedom. If you're the boss, then you have the possibility to shape your life. It's a little bit the limited belief. We think I have to work a lot. No, you can get people to work. Now I'm not saying like, oh, drive other people to burnout. I'm not saying that, but I mean, you can shape your clinic. You can shape your life. We can all do that. And that's what I'm also speaking about. Like, we have these limited beliefs that we think that we have to work every day and work many hours. No, if you're tired, you will not be as good dentist as when you come to the clinic like, hello, good morning, So maybe you should just, from next week, work 3 days. Why not? You will see how you will gain more money because you will give better quotations, because you will see more things. Compared to when you have a full day, a lot of dentists, you will just see that single DK maybe. So it's important to change that mindset. The other question you said, when did I realize and change my life? So I had my first burnout, and that's why in one way, Dr. Milad, I'm happy to hear that you feel that after 2 years, because probably I felt that too, but I was so stubborn. So I think that I didn't I was not connected with my feelings. I was just like like the horses or the hamster in the wheel. So it was after 10 years in the same clinic that I had my first burnout. I came to work, put my scrub on. I saw in the agenda that the patient still had pain. I mean, it was not a big thing. He still had pain after endodontics, but that was just what I needed. Like, that was the last thing. Because burnout is like a summary of many things. You cannot say it's 3, 4. No, it's thousands of things that has happened. So, but I just started to cry. And the other dentist, he had burnout before. So he just looked at me and said, Christina, go home. take it easy and come back when you feel better. But for me, it was like, what's going on? Why am I not happy? I have what I want. You cannot really understand. So anyway, I was home 1 month and I wanted to figure out what was wrong with me. So I went to a psychologist. I said, why am I not happy? Normally, I'm a very happy woman. So it's easy for me to laugh, but I couldn't find the reason to laugh or be happy. So she said, you have to start to do things that you love to do. And I remember that I love and I feel passion for music. So I started to DJ. So that is how my DJ career, I'm not speaking a lot about that on LinkedIn, but on my Instagram, yes, you cannot show the craziest side on LinkedIn always, but so I'm a DJ as well. And that I started late in life. So I started to feel a little bit better, but then I was into the old routines again, in the hamster wheel. So it took another 7 years until I got my second burnout. And that's what happened. If you don't change your life, every time you get a burnout, it will hit you harder. So that burnout was really bad. It was not just a month. It was a long period. And I remember one morning I went out with my dogs. It was a beautiful sunrise. And I live like you can call it like a mountain. So I had the view over the sea. So it was beautiful. But I remember that I felt so empty. So empty, so drained. I didn't have any energy for anyone. Not my children, not my husband, not myself. And I questioned life itself. And when I came to that point, I got really scared. And I was like, I have to take a step back. I have to zoom out what's happening here. So I called my mom and I said, Mom, I have to come to you for a time to just find myself. So she lives in a village in Greece where there are only cats, dogs, and pensioners in Christmas and autumn. So I was there and I had a plan. I was journaling, writing down my feelings. I was walking by the sea and I started to study. And that's when I found all these studies about burnout in dentistry. And I was like, okay, so it's not only me. It's not only me that is crazy or ungrateful. This is a real thing happening. So why is nobody speaking about it? So I remember one evening I walked by the beach there, and I was really feeling lost. Who am I if I'm not a dentist? Who am I if I don't have my dental clinic? What will I do? What will I work with? And suddenly I looked into the sand and it was a starfish. And the starfish stands for renewal. If they lose their arm, a new one grows out. So that, it can sound like a crazy thing, but for me, it completely changed my mindset from that day. And that was November 2022. I was like, I have a new mission. I'm going to sell my clinic and I'm going to help dental professionals out there to speak about these things, how they can find harmony and balance before they come to that point that I was. Because that morning with the dogs, I could feel what dentists are feeling before they commit suicide. I was, like I was not there, but that feeling is like, phew, if I can help one person not taking that decision, because there are so many other roads. It's not only having your clinic. You can always sell it. It's just a job. And money is something that's invented. Of course, we need it, but to what extent? It's so important that we have mental peace. So that was what changed me. So when people say, you're so courageous, Christina, it was not about courage. It was the only thing that could keep me going. Your third question was what dental school should do. I don't think we all start from the same line. And I'm going to explain why I'm saying this. And it's not about the money. So imagine we have 100 dental students starting the dental school. You have one who have had a happy childhood with dad and mom, and maybe even they are doctors or dentists. They have been listening to, they have felt that they have a voice, that they can listen to their own feelings. In my case, my mom and dad, they are so different. And in one way, I'm very grateful for that, because I have this extreme personality type that I love music, techno music, and then I can be really calm and deep and speak about psychology, and dentistry. So I love my both sides from my parents. But when they were living together, it was like having a war in my home. And for a child to grow up hearing your parents discuss and yell every day is like walking on a minefield. That changes your whole brain structure during the 7 years. That does something to you. What was the result of that? I forgive them. I'm not speaking, they will never see these podcasts and they don't understand English anyway. But I have forgiven them, because I think we all go with our traumas, and if we don't heal, we just continue with the same trauma.
Just drag it on. Yeah. It gets,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to speak about these things. Like, don't yell, don't give that to your children, because it will have a consequence. So the consequence was that I became this people pleaser that wanted everybody to be happy. I couldn't stand conflicts. Can you imagine being a dentist and dental leader, not being able to stand conflicts? Can you imagine the stress I had inside me? I said yes to a lot of things that I didn't want to. So I had like all these stress inside, but from the outside, I was the happy, calm Christina that never said anything, that never said anything until it became so big, and then I became a monster. You get it! That took me like years, and that's not the best way either. It's better to let them go early than to become a monster after 2 years. But I had not seen that. I didn't know how to solve a conflict. I didn't know how you discuss in a calm way, and you can have different opinions and let somebody go from the team without it become a big thing. And because dental school didn't teach us those things, and if you have fear of rejection, for example, like I had, everybody had to like me. It's like my husband said so many times, but Christina, why don't you go and sell ice cream if you want everybody to be happy? And I never understood. I said, you don't understand. Of course, they have to be happy. But it's not. My friend who's successful dentist and pretty happy dentist, she said, I have had patients that I have said, get the hell out of my clinic if they have not respected her, because she set limits. But I could never do that. Didn't matter what they would do. I would just smile and let them take charge over me. So what I think dental school should do, we have 5 years that we can shape the dentist. And those 5 years are so important. So first of all, you have to see how is the personality. You also have dental students who don't have so much empathy, and you have to work with the empathy part there. In my case, I had too much empathy, so they had to work there. Okay, Christina, in those situations, they could do role play. There are so many ways you can teach the dental students the soft skills, leadership, empathy, problem solving. It's not rocket science. So why don't they have it? Because when I speak with dental students, there's still not much changing. It's happening more and more because the young generation are much more open minded. So things are happening, but it takes time.
Awesome. Before I jump into, I got a question about international perspective. But before I jump in, I want to just say this particular episode has been brought to you by Allo AI, the AI receptionist for dental offices with service in 23 different languages. We also do service in Spanish. You'd be curious to see that. It's live in our US offices, actually. So there's 0 hold times, no voicemails, all while it books directly on your practice management system. I know that piques some of our audience's interest, so check us out at loai.ca. A little button in the top right, you can book a call and you can have a conversation with us. The link is going to be in the description. Now, back to our regularly scheduled broadcast. Dr. Christina, the idea of practicing and coaching across cultures. What are some of the universal truths that you found in dentistry and in personal growth? This is along the same lines of your conversations this far.
What the biggest challenges are? Oh,
Yeah, what are some universal truths? Like same idea, same principles that you found both in dentistry and in personal health? What are some things that go across cultures?
I see that all these struggles that I'm speaking about, I can't see any difference between the cultures. I cannot see any. Like, it's when I speak with dentists all over the world, it's like the same feelings, the same situations. I think we are all in similar situations. It's just, but it's not what's happening to you. It's how you receive it in the end, and that's the difference. But doesn't matter. I've been speaking with Sweden, States, Tunisia, like everywhere. It's the same feelings because we have to give so much. We have to do everything so perfectly. I don't think that dentists should work 8 hours. I think we should get paid for 6 hours, for example. If I could, I don't think, what's those that were called who's looking at the airplanes, they
Air
have
traffic
just 6
controller?
hours. Yeah,
Air
yeah.
traffic
They
controllers,
have
yeah.
they have 6 hours work days, and I think they retire much younger. I think that dentists should be in that group as well because it's so detailed, so much pressure. But I think almost sometimes, I'm sorry for saying this, and I have heard it before, but sometimes it's like dentistry is, this can sound brutal, but it's somehow like a sect, like a thriller when something is wrong, but nobody's saying it loudly. Everybody's speaking about the success. And because when I was at Madrid Expo Dental, it was like hundreds of speakers. And I was looking at each and every one. I was the only one speaking about the dentist. Everything else was about technology, buy another machine. And sometimes I really think that the commercials think the dentists are crazy. They don't we can sell more stuff to them because the only thing they care about is who will have the newest machine, who will have I have to be true that nobody can fire me. Nobody, I'm a free spirit now. I can really say what I feel. I literally think that they have seen that dentistry is a bunch of people who are just into buying things. And I was the same. The dopamine I got, because I was at the clinic all the time. So of course the dopamine I got was buying new stuff to the clinic. One scanner there. Oh, that instrument can measure the crown, the length of the crown. €100, like $100. Yeah, sure. Buy it. and I used it once, and then it's like, oh, next. I know I was a little bit crazy there, but I'm not the only one. It's like we want the newest. We're in this bubble, maybe because we're also so many hours in our clinic, and then we compare. But that started already in dental school. I had a student that I had a podcast with yesterday, and she said it like the professor is comparing our work, and like, you did that one. I remember that as well. Oh, look, Maria, what nice preparation. And you can take another one. This preparation looks, it's not so good. You will not be good at this, and that will stay in your mind, and you have this competition feeling, and you're in your own clinic, you're isolated. It's no wonder so many people in dentistry are feeling bad, because we know that the happiest people, what makes us happy is connections with other people. We have connections, we have our patients, we have our assistant, but we don't have so much outside if we're working full time. Just like Dr. Mila said, that you work the whole day. And I was at the same situation. When weekend came and my husband said, shall we meet some friends? I just said, can we just be home? Can I just relax so I can have energy for Monday? But of course that will lead to depression, because when you're over 40, you realize, this will end one day, life is not forever, and I want to live. You see your parents. My parents are in the 70s. They don't want to travel. So, I mean, if I'm 47, you have to start to like count. If I'm 47 now, it means that I have 23 years like left that I will enjoy, be able to. I'm not saying that it stops, but we cannot think that we will live forever and we will have energy forever. So you start to realize that time is precious after 40.
Absolutely. Doc, I was just going to tell you, man, don't give out your age.
I don't have any problem with that. I know they say women don't want to say their age, but I don't have any problem.
For 47, knocking out, you look good, so don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Doc, everything you're saying is so true. I think the biggest thing is that, I think in dentistry in particular, these are the things that doesn't get talked about enough as far as our mental health goes. And I'm so big on this because I think it drives, especially if you're coming out of dental school. I mean, I have classmates that had mental health issues growing up themselves. And I think when they transition into the industry and they came into the real world, I talked to some of them and like their mental health stuff just tripled. Like the medication don't work, their depression medication don't work, their anxiety medication don't work, because they were already having all these mental health issues as they were coming into it, and now they came into dentistry, and that even got worse. And I think that we need to be doing a better job, honestly, to figure out, because like that isolation, it's a real thing. I mean, we got another doctor, Dr. Jeff Busky, on our podcast, and he said the same thing. He said, "Man, like I got to a point where I was so disconnected from everything." And that's truly something that is like, it's like you said, there's no difference. We all feel the same thing. Our feelings are very mutual. So I mean, I know you go to a lot of these seminars, you talk to different dentists. I mean, what are some of the things that you feel like, if you had to like talk to me, like what are some of the changes that you think you can make in your career that can have that immediate positive effect? That can kind of change how you feel at the end of the day. Like, you said one thing was like work less hours. So let's say somebody just says, hey, man, I got to work 5 days a week because I got bills to pay or I got other things that I got to take care of. Like, what are some of the things that we can change in our day to day as dentists? What are some of the things we can change to essentially help ourselves to have that stronger mental resilience?
Good question. That's the power of coaching. I had coach myself, and when I realized the effect this person had on my life, I wanted to do the same and be able to help others. So the coaching is, we believe that every person has the answer. You know what you want, but it's just like we are not so connected because of what we see on social media, the pressure maybe from our parents at the beginning, then our husband, our wives, society. We start to buy more things, so we have to pay more bills. So we stop thinking what we actually want. So what coaching is about, like, imagine the dream scenario. And just like, I'm not normally saying it, just popped up in my mind now. Imagine the doctor would say, like, okay, you have 1 year left. How would you spend it? With who would you be? What is your dream scenario? We start from there. Just say, for example, I would like to work 3 days, but I have to work 5 days to pay everything. Okay, then we start. What other options are there? How could you get money from a passive income? Could you start to sell products where you get provision? Could you make an online course? What's your superpowers? What have you been through that you feel that you can learn and teach others? You can do an online course. So there are so many. You could get another dentist working. Well, I will earn a little bit less. Yeah, maybe for a while until you build up something else. But we also have to understand that sometimes you have to lose something to gain another thing. We cannot have it all the time. We have to be able to, okay, I lose this, but I will have more mental health to build up something else. Oh, I love to travel. Yeah, you can do retreats. And on that retreat, maybe you will meet a billionaire who will invest in your product or something. So life is filled with magical options, but not if we just stay in an environment where we not want to be 24/7. It will not happen there. I'm not saying now that, all the dentists stop working full time. If you're happy, do it. The important thing is that you're happy. Nobody has the right to say what's best for you. The only thing I say is listen to yourself. Because if you don't listen to yourself, you will have consequence. Not maybe today, maybe not this year, but it will come. And it can be visible in illness, because stress can be shown in cancer. They have seen cancer can be developed from stress, mental issues. So there are so many things that can happen if you don't listen to yourself.
Um, that's amazing, Dr. Christina. I usually myself, I'm a big supporter of thinking outside of the box and doing things that are unordinary. Are you a fan of that
Mm,
too?
I love that. That is
Okay,
one of my
I
big
have a little
passions. Yeah, yeah.
project. I have a little project. I think there's never been a dental podcast that had a DJ on and people DJ'd on it. So can we do that?
Yeah, but when would I play music?
Right now maybe, or we could schedule it later if you're not preferred.
Later? It's already late here. It's 9:30 in the night. I'm going to
Whoa,
bed,
whoa, whoa.
guys. Yeah. Yeah, that would be great, huh?
Come on, Doc. It's Friday night. You're not going to bed yet.
I have to put something else than water here then. No, just kidding.
Well,
But I want to say that as well. It's so important. It is water. It is water. It's so
mhm,
important to have fun,
yeah,
have fun. And we can have fun with our patients. We can have fun with our team members, to have fun. I will actually have a course. And that's what I say, that life is I love to travel. So I would love to come to Canada. I would love to come to that's one of my passions. Travel and helping at the same time, then I'm in heaven. If I'm DJing a little bit, then it's like, yeah, all the things
I'm
together.
sure another thing is that no one has ever like booked their flights to Canada on the dental podcast. So maybe we can do that right now as well if you want. I mean, you already
What
have
can
the
we do?
class to. I said no one has ever booked their flights to come to Canada on a dental podcast. That's also something you can do right now.
Oh, I bet you're lucky when you're hitting when you're how do you say, in the bar with hitting on. What do you
What are
say?
you talking
It's,
about when he's in
it's,
the bar hitting on the ladies? Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's very
she's
direct. Like,
yes, yes. I have seen.
yes.
I can vouch for the gentleman. Good Sir Masood is actually really good at the whole. He's a good wingman, and it's good. Yeah, he's good.
Actually, maybe you want to ask for dinner first before you ask him about it. Come all the way back.
well, it's all about
Wow.
doing things that are unordinary, and I totally
Yeah,
agree. Like, if you stick to the normal flow of life, it just gets boring, and I just can't live
yeah,
it. Like,
yeah. I cannot stand it. My brain goes, when it's too boring.
Master,
I
did you
mean,
hear Dr. Reddick said she's married though? I just want to remind
yeah.
dude, I'm not. Come on, guys. I'm just gonna
I'm
turn off my
teasing you.
camera.
I'm teasing. He's asking, he's like, let's be spontaneous, let's do stuff. I'm like, hey, just a reminder, disclosure, Dr. Reddick is married. Maybe we can be spontaneous with other people.
Dude, I was literally talking about how amazing of a mother she is. So you can't relate that to this. Come on.
Dr. Reddick, how long
Uh,
how long did you practice for before you decided to stop? How many years did you practice?
18.
Wow. Okay.
Mm. At the
Is
same clinic.
at the same club. That's probably why.
Mm.
It's tough.
But
I'm telling you.
I built up the patient,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
it was like, how could I lose what I have built up?
What I also noticed, I don't know. I don't know if this is kind of like a compliment, but I have worked previously last year. I worked with a female doctor. I think female in dentistry in general, I think they're a lot more. They take on a lot more. They're more perfectionist with a lot of things that
Mm,
they do. I noticed that
mm,
a lot with female doctors, that they're very like particular about how they want things, and I realized that would have become very stressful for even the doctors that I work with, because I think that perfectionism sometimes can become too much for the staff, for the doctors that you work with. Because there was a time like the doctor would say, "Oh, I want the crown prep to be like millimeter on and off here." And I used to tell her, "I'm like, Doc, like everything we do is not perfectionist, because you have to pay. Every filling is going to be different. Every crown prep we do is different. Every extraction we do is different. So there's a complexity to everything we do." But I realized that, like, I think female in dentistry in general, I think they're a lot more perfectionists. Like, they have a different setting of eye for their work. And I think that it's
yeah,
a good thing because they want to be perfectionists. But I also believe into sometimes you can't control the situation. And if something is not perfect, I'm not going to lose the sleep over it.
mm,
Do you think there's some truths to that in a way? Do you, in your experience, I mean, do you think that the women dentists in dentistry, they're more like
yeah,
perfectionists than the guys? They're more like, I have to have it done this way. And
yeah, yeah. Of course.
do you think the perfectionism is a good thing in our industry?
Mm, that's a good question, and that what happened. I think there's a reason why you meet people, why everything. Like I said, I think there is a reason why everything happens to you. And when I was just about to enter my second burnout, I had a patient. I remember it was an evening in beginning of November 2022. She came to the clinic and she needed a big treatment. I made a big treatment plan, but I had already taken the decision to go to Greece to find myself. So I was already like feeling bad, but I still worked. I made the treatment plan. It was implants, veneers, extraction. So a big plan that would normally be like the dream job. I gave the quotation and she said, I'm taking it, Christina, because I trust you and I feel that I'm in good hands. And I told her, thank you very much. I just have to go and visit my mom. She's sick. I had to lie to her and say that she was sick, but it was I who needed to get away. Anyway, so I came back after 3 weeks and I started her treatment, and I met her because it was such an extensive treatment. I met her almost every day, every week. And she was a therapist. So every time she was in the chair, we started to speak about different things. And I told her, most of the dentists are perfectionists. And she looked at me, she said, no, Christina, it's one thing having high standards and doing a good job, but being a perfectionist, it means that you're never really, you can always see like every little detail, and you cannot sleep, for example, because you continue thinking about something. It's never really enough. That is a trauma response. Like that is, yeah, like you have not been really seen. So you value yourself through what other people will say. So if they are happy, then you're happy. And that's perfectionism. So it's good to have high standards, to do your best, to grow and improve. But when it comes to the extent that you cannot sleep and everybody has to be really happy, you don't, you will always find something wrong. That's not good. And that's what I feel that, for example, dental school, because they know more than we know. We are young when we are dental students. We don't know these things. We need professionals with experience that can guide us. How should I think there? They have to give us some tools. And they have 5 years to work on that, because it's not something you can just change like that, because it's a pattern, thinking pattern you have. Guilt for not being the perfect wife, not being the perfect mother, not being the perfect dentist, dental leader. So all that pressure too. Or the young female dentists who want to have children. When should I have children? When should I go away? What will my patient say if I will be home with my child? And all the guilt there. So yes, I think it's more complex to be a woman.
And it's all got to
Um,
do with that traditional, that passed down trauma, which if you
Mm,
don't heal and treat and acknowledge, it stays with you.
yeah,
and Dr.
yeah.
Christina, one quick question. This is probably both from you and Mila. I've had, how many podcasts have we had? Probably 20, 30 so far. And every
20?
dentist
Yeah.
that's, yeah, maybe it's about that. Every dentist that we talked to, they were like, dentistry is the hardest job in the world. Like, it has the highest suicide rates, and it's always been difficulties. Knowing that, and also, like, I haven't really heard much about the merits, since I've been in the dental world. Would you guys still choose to be dentists if you go back in time? Like Mila, if you go back, I don't know, how long going in dental school, like 10 years, and then you finish practicing for 2 years. And also you, Dr.
Oh,
Christina.
yeah. I mean, for me, yeah, I wouldn't change anything about my career path. I enjoy dentistry. I love doing it. I and so far, I mean, just the opportunities that the dentistry has given me, just to be able to meet people like yourself and Dr. Christina and other people. I think it's a great industry, but you just got to find the balance early on. But yeah, man, I love what I do. I wouldn't change it for sure.
Mm,
What about you, Dr. Christina?
mm. I it's
Dr.
yeah,
Christina, don't let us down. Come on.
it's a little bit like, like the egg and the hen. So I don't, or that story. Like you don't know what, I don't know if I changed, or have am I a new Christina now, or did I just find Christina now? Like I was
No.
forty-five when I realized.
You're gonna be the Christina that you are right now, but 18 years back or 30 years back, whenever you
Yeah,
started into
yeah.
dental.
No,
You have the
I
knowledge.
would not have. I would not have chosen, because Dr. Mila said, I when I was a dental, like if you look at my Instagram and you look down when I had my clinic, I mean, I was passionate. The best dopamine was when everybody was happy, the dentist, the makeovers. You really feel the impact you have on a person's life. I think dentists, that is where we get the best sensation. Like when you realize in this moment, I have changed this person's life forever. Greater job, greater partner, happier. Uh, so I really enjoy that. But now when I know myself more, like you said, Masood, I think I would really thrive in a profession with thinking outside the box. That something happens with me, like, when you see something incredible, unique, and I go, wow, I would like to be in the group with that project, that people, those kind of people who travel and sees different things, like a bicycle in their roof, you know and they have made a lamp from a bicycle, crazy things. I love those kind of things, and traveling. So I could see myself, and maybe have a Netflix program, yeah. So that would be my dream. So no, I don't think I would choose dentistry now when I know myself. And people who know me, my husband, I have to tell you this. My husband and I, we were in the same class from 6 years old, first class, to ninth grade. And he was surprised. And then our ways separated. So I got married, had 2 children, and then we met each other as we were 28 and got a daughter together. So, and when we met, he was surprised that I was a dentist. People who know little Christina, who was always dancing, and like, they're a little bit surprised that I chose dentistry. So that says something, that I always love to be on a scene. Yeah. So yeah, I think it became small.
Dr. Reddick, Master just texted me. He's like, oh wait, she has 2
Dude,
husbands?
dude, dude, dude. No. Like, sorry, I was
One
confusing.
X, one X.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Sorry about that. Sometimes it gets carried away.
She's a really different, unique person. She has 2 husbands. No, one
That's it.
X, one X. I got married when I was 19. It can be tricky to find your soulmate when you're so young.
Agree. Here.
Absolutely.
Well, Dr. Reddick, I wanted to let you know, thank you so much for hopping on this podcast. You have been joy. We had so much fun. Whatever you have in that black bottle, please share it with us so we can feel what you.
I wish I had something funnier. I promise it's water.
Yes. On the next podcast, you're gonna DJ for us. So that's
I'm going to DJ. I
yes,
promise you.
we
I
will do
promise.
that. We will do that.
Yeah, we
And
will do it. We will
yeah,
do
but
it.
please don't get a ticket and go to Canada. This is way too much.
I said I love to travel. If you
But
find
no,
a spot where I could have a speech or a workshop, I come.
I got you.
Yes,
I got you.
we got you.
I
We
got you.
got you.
Yeah.
Actually, Hossein, he does a lot of like events in Canada for different type of people. Actually, we are doing. So I don't know if you noticed. This is something maybe we should let Dr. Reddick know. So we are starting. As you know, I am a CEO of Dentment, and Dentment essentially we are starting our own online platform for dentists. It's going to be exclusively for dentists. It's going to be very similar to LinkedIn. It's going to be like social media. We're going to have business courses on there. We're going to have mental health specialists on there. We're going to have a lot of different people. We have about 20 mentors on there. we are developing the platform with the help of Masood, Mr. Hussein, and his team. So in about a month or two, our platform is going to be ready. So we'll get you on there. You can do some talking to
Wow.
us there. Yeah. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Yes. So we are, with the help of these gentlemen, we're starting that platform. So you're more than welcome to join the platform, and we're gonna have like an Instagram for the dentists. That's what we're
Yeah,
gonna do.
yeah. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, and then
I would love to join.
we're starting doing like a monthly webinars as well for Dentman. We're actually starting one in April, so you're more than welcome to come back and join us on that as well. I
Mm,
think my goal with this podcast and everything else that I do, I think we need to empower the younger dentists. We need to let them know they're not alone, because that feeling of that loneliness is very hard through the journey. So I think if we can help empower these younger doctors that come
mm,
out, it's something that is my life mission essentially. I just want to be able to help. So
mm.
the fact that you are doing what you're doing, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving us your time. It means a lot to me. So I really appreciate
100%.
it.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you
much,
for
Dr.
having
Radick.
me. And I have a proposal as well. Like, I have a podcast too, so I would like you to be my guest. It was really fun to be for people like this. I really,
We do it differently.
it was like having a party. So I invite you. We will be all the four, and because I want to hear your stories. I have
Absolutely.
been
Let's do
speaking a
it.
lot today.
No
100%.
problem.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You set the time up. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Friday
And
with
Mila,
another thing in the bottle.
Mila, actually, I have an idea. How about a DJ on the webinars? No one's ever
Let's
done
do
that
it.
before. Yeah, no, for real.
Hey,
Like,
I'm
I'm not
all.
even joking.
Hey, I told you those webinars that we're gonna do, they're gonna be just like live events. We can do whatever you want. We can bring
Yeah.
DJs, we can bring dancers, whatever you want.
No, because Dr.
Not a
Christina,
bad
just to
idea at all.
quickly go over it, we're trying
Yeah.
to do basically very big events, webinars, basically that we bring on like big speakers in the dental world. And there are going to
Mm.
be a lot of participants there, and we're trying to do it differently. Make it fun, make it
Mm.
interactive. We are giving away
Yeah.
gifts at
Yeah.
the end of each webinar. So I think having a DJ wouldn't be a bad idea there, if you're down for it.
Yeah. That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. I was on a MBA dental week. It was 5 days, and I was there as a DJ before and in the coffee breaks and in the end. So yeah. So it
That's
was
awesome.
fun. And I really think that's important as well, that we as dentists speak about these hobbies, things outside dentistry. We have to go a little bit outside more. That will give us more energy and love for the inside job. So it's like yin and yang. We if we are too much into it yeah,
So you
Love
should
it.
come
No,
over to
That's
that's
awesome.
Canada,
awesome.
yeah,
Dr.
like the
Christina.
energy
Dr.
disappears.
Yeah, the moment that you do come to Canada, just let me know. I can source out a nice venue. We can plan something out and have you actually as a DJ, and it will. If we say dentist as a DJ, it's just going to be an amazing. It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
It's gonna do
the
really well.
the fun thing is to like I did now. I was DJing the whole time, and they didn't really know if what I was doing there. And
Right.
suddenly, I went on stage and I had my speech. So they
Oh,
were
wow.
like, "Wow!" So
That's cool.
it's good to
That's
make it
cool.
as a surprise.
Hey, Master, we can give
Love it.
preview. Here's the doc on hipsters DJing.
Oh, wow.
It's that
Look at
Instagram.
you dancing and stuff. Wow. That's beautiful.
Oh, now Masood will be sold.
Love
All
it.
right, man. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Christian. I
Thank
Thank you
appreciate it.
you.
so much,
I
Dr.
hope
Thanks for
I
Christina.
hope I
sharing.
didn't scare
No,
you.
No,
definitely not.
thank you.
Definitely not.
Thank you, Doc.
Definitely
I
not.
It was
appreciate
amazing.
Appreciate it. Thank you
Thank you
for
so
Have
sharing
a
much.
your
lovely.
wisdom.
Thank you.
I was gonna
Have
say,
a lovely night.
if for our audience, absolutely, if for our audience they want to learn more, they want more harmony in their life. Best way to reach out to you, doctor. What is it, through LinkedIn or through your website? What's
Mm.
the best way for them to reach out to you?
I mean, it's easy to find me. I'm pretty active.
It's yeah,
So
beautiful.
it's Instagram with my name and so Dr. Christina Radick, or I have the DJ account as well for you, Masood. And
I love it.
That's awesome.
LinkedIn, I'm there as well. But maybe the easiest way is to find me on my website, ChristinaRadix.com. There
Beautiful.
you have my webmail, and there you have a link that's totally free to chat with me and
Nice. Okay.
to speak.
Okay. Beautiful.
Dr. Reddick, you give Master the wrong ideas. His face changed.
Mila, come on.
All right,
Good.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Humor
much.
is important to have in
It
life.
It
is
is.
100%.
It
Thank
is.
you
Thank
very
you.
much,
Thank
Doc.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
so much.
Thanks so
Have a
much for
Thank
great
you.
tuning
night.
in.
Yeah,
See
take
you
Thank
care.
you.
soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye bye.